Although worries about the risks of doing business with China remain high, Taiwanese companies are engaging in a variety of diversification strategies rather than outright decoupling from China, including expanding involvement in regional trade arrangements, broadening commercial ties with the United States, expanding R&D at home, and nurturing a talented workforce to protect Taiwan's technology advantage. Hi, I'm Scott Kennedy, Senior Advisor and Trustee Chair in Chinese Business and Economics at CSIS, and I'm here to talk about my recent report with Andrea Leonard-Palazzi called Diversifying, Not Decoupling. Taiwanese Industry Responds to Geostrategic Risks. The origins of this report go back to a previous report that the Trustee Chair wrote in 2022. In July of that year, on the eve of U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan, the Trustee Chair conducted a formal survey of Taiwanese companies' views and activities related to the international geostrategic environment. And what stood out in 2022 was the high percentage of firms that already had begun to move some of their business from mainland China, or were considering doing so, as well as a small yet surprisingly high number that also reported that they were already moving or considering moving some of their business out of Taiwan. Now, since then, tensions have modestly tempered. And in that context, the Trustee Chair has conducted a second survey of Taiwanese firms at the end of 2023 to assess how companies' views and behaviors may have shifted during the intervening period. Now, there are several takeaways from this new survey. The overarching conclusion is that although worries about the risks of doing business with China remain high, Taiwanese companies are engaging in a variety of diversification strategies rather than outright decoupling from China. Companies' worries about the geostrategic environment have receded somewhat, but they still favor a variety of coping strategies, including expanding involvement in regional trade arrangements, broadening commercial ties with the United States, expanding R&D at home, and nurturing a talented workforce to protect Taiwan's technology advantage. In addition, although the total proportion of firms considering or actually moving some of their business from China and Taiwan fell slightly between the two surveys, the proportion reporting they have already moved some operations rose significantly by late 2023. Companies report that Southeast Asia is still their number one destination, but interest in South Asia has risen dramatically. China is still seen as an important trading partner. Taiwanese businesses are still not convinced India and Southeast Asia are sufficient substitutes, and companies are only moving a portion of their operations. There are several important policy implications that come out of this project. For Washington, if its approach becomes overly focused on imposing restrictions and shifts from a goal of managing risks to outright decoupling with China, it could very well find itself out of step with Taiwanese businesses and most likely with other like-minded partners, companies as well. For Beijing, although it has taken a variety of steps over the past 2 years to address the concerns of companies' investors, including from Taiwan, it has simultaneously increased military pressure against Taiwan, carried out an investigation into Taiwan's potential violations of its trade agreements, and imposed a variety of tailored restrictions. These steps at a minimum send mixed signals to Taiwanese business and propel them to explore alternative opportunities. For Taipei, the survey results suggest that policy steps to radically expand restrictions against mainland China would not be welcomed by local industry. The continued anxiety about a possible war and supply chain disruptions means Taipei still must work to reassure local industry about the island's commercial environment and economic future. To read the full report, Diversifying, Not Decoupling, Taiwanese Industry Responds to Geostrategic Risks, please visit csis.org.